This is Ed Menville with the Charles Siegel Company. We're here at the beautiful home of Stefan Mertens in Geraardsbergen, Belgium. Many of you know Stefan from his writing for the Charles Siegel Company website. He's written articles for Siegels now for 19 years.
19 already.
19 years already. He was just a child. He was just a child when he started writing for us. What many people did not know is what Stefan did before he came and was working not only for Siegels but also for the DIF, and also now managing the Herbots auctions website. Stefan was an expert in the feeds, specifically working with the Versilla Laga company. So tell us, Stefan, how long did you work for Versilla, and how did you come about to learn about feeding then? And what was your job?
I started by Versilla Laga in '93, the 1st of December '93. Then I was 23 years old, and I was lucky to come in a team of experts. Pigeon sport was then a lot of higher number of fanciers and so on. Versilla Laga was booming in countries like Germany, Great Britain, France, because for the quality, and they always took the court of the quality. That was very important for them. I came in a team with Herman van Damme, Wim Baudard, Dr. Werquin, and we were so lucky that we could only concentrate on the feeding. We could contact top fanciers. How do you feed? What do you think about that? We were having a great team that was buying the seeds, the maize, the wheat and so on everywhere in France on top locations, that we could guarantee also the top quality. So I did that more than 17 years. 17 years I was together with the product management team of Versilla Laga.
And did the Versilla Laga company get involved in the science of studying the feeds? So in terms of what protein did for the pigeon, or what carbohydrates did for the pigeon, or what fat did for the pigeon, in terms of racing distances and speeds and such things?
Versilla Laga has all been a leading company concerning the feeds and byproducts of in pigeon sport. What was the effect? We had a system that we had the practice. We were ourselves pigeon fanciers. We had a lot of contact with pigeon fanciers. We heard things, and then we said, look, people of the science, that we hear. So is it possible that if you go low in proteins in the middle of the week, that you can build up the pigeons again in high energy with fat? What kind of seeds do we need, and so on? And that was, of course, the thing. We had the science and the practice people, and that was the best that we could have.
I understand you were also involved in helping to design one of the most popular mixes in the Versilla line at the moment, is the Jerry Plus or Jerry Mix.
Yes.
Can you describe a little bit about that mix and why and how it came about to be designed?
In fact, the mixture of Jerry Plus is, we named that because to honor our colleague Herman van Damme, who was known as Jerry because he was already working a lot by Versilla Laga, some years, was writing, was known as a good fancier also. It was so that effect, to be honest, we saw it a little bit by Cassar, Maurice Cassar, from Nice. Maurice Cassar was a fancier, and when you came there, the pigeons were always standing nice pink in flesh. They were round, they were in top condition. And he himself, Maurice Cassar, made a kind of mixture, low in proteins, and he fed that the whole winter, or then after starting from the molting season, and then during the racing season also some few days, because he saw that when he gave that mixture, the pigeons trained better, the pigeons looked better, he saw that they were not overfed, and that was very important. So we had that contact also with Cassar, but then we looked a little bit at the composition of his mixture, but Cassar was using a lot of barley in this mixture and so on, and that we changed it a little bit, we upgraded, with paddy rice, for example. That were the people of the science that said, don't use the barley, use paddy rice. Paddy rice is more digestible and so on. So what is the thing about the Jerry Plus mixture is to have a low protein mixture. Before we had the puratives with a lot of barley in it, but we wanted to get away from the barley, because from barley, to be honest, pigeons can to be too fat also, of feeling too fat. With paddy rice you don't have it anymore. So I have here, for example, the Jerry Plus mixture. So you see it, there are no beans in it, no peas in it. It's all very low in proteins. Plus the fact that you combine that with maize and some other fine seeds that pigeons like to eat it. The main thing about Cherry Plus is to keep the pigeons eating and to make sure that they don't eat too much, that they still eat till the day of basketing. That is very important. That the pigeons keep on eating till the day of basketing. And that is the Jerry Plus mixture.
So in your mind, the advice that you would give a beginning fancier or a new fancier or someone who is not educated about feed, when would you tell him to use the Jerry Plus?
In fact, when they come home, you need to rebuild the muscles again. The muscles has been used, you have to rebuild. When you build something, you need amino acids. You need proteins. That's very important, proteins. Building is proteins. So in fact, when they breed, even then, they need proteins because they have to build. Rebuilding, when they come home, you give a normal racing mixture with beans in it, peas in it, which is higher in proteins. Then, if you make the mistake by keeping on feeding that mixture, then you will see that the pigeons are already ready to go to the race 2 days before basketing. And they will stop eating. If the weather is a little bit warm or the condition is there, they don't have time anymore to eat. No, that's not the purpose. So you rebuild them one day. It depends on the race and how many, they are raised every week or every 2 weeks, that's also possible. But let's say that you raise them every week. So you certainly give one day a normal racing mixture. Then you go over to the Jerry Plus mixture. And the last 4 meals, I always say 1 meal per 100 kilometer here in Belgium. So the last 4 meals, for example, or the last 2 meals, it depends what you raise. Is it tailwind, is it headwind? That is a little bit that you have to see. Then you go over again to a high energy mixture. So that's the best thing that you can do.
So the Jerry mix, in your opinion, would be best fed for the 3 days?
Yeah.
Tuesday?
So if they arrive, let's say on Sunday, you give on Sunday and Monday, you give the racing mixture. On Tuesday, Wednesday, and then it depends when you basket. If you basket on Friday, the Jerry Plus, and then on Thursday and Friday you can give a racing mixture.
And let's talk about a racing mixture. So the racing mixture, for instance, that you know about with Versilla, what is it called?
Oh, you have several mixtures. You have to be sure that they are. I like to give, personally, on my loft, I like to give a mixture which is a combination of maize, which is certainly a combination of fine seeds. So you have to, energy is fats, giving fats. Fats are fine seeds, peeled sunflower seeds and so on. I have, for example, a mixture that I like to give. Oh, I have to be careful. You see now the difference between a Jerry Plus and another mixture. So that's in fact a little bit a combination that I made with a Widowwood Plus mixture and an Energy Plus mixture. So that I made a little bit of combination.
And so what is in it? What seeds are in it?
You have, which is important, for example, for fat, is the peeled sunflower, which I like to eat a lot. Fine seeds. It's hard to say, hemp seed we have here, we have also some paddy rice, a lot of fine seeds, and then the combination of, here you see it, for example, 3 kinds of maize. You have the yellow maize, you have the red maize, and you have a Bordeaux maize. It's just the fact to keep them eating, that is very important, to make that combination.
And this you give for?
The last. In fact, I use a magic spoon. This is 15 grams of corn. When they come home and the day after, they get as much as they want. So we're talking about Sunday, when they arrive, they get as much as they want, and on Monday they get also as much as they want. So they can build up again the muscles. Then I need, as a fancier, to see that I keep them on eating. That they still have the appetite to eat. Personally, I go to 35 grams per pigeon per day. I like to raise young birds. I give once a day feed, and it's 35 grams per pigeon per day. If one pigeon is away, it's 35 grams less. Then I basket on Friday. On Thursday, I give them 45 grams. Because then I give them as much as they want, because they eat also 45 grams, because some fanciers say, how can you eat a pigeon 45 grams? Because here I do the little bit limited. Then they are hungry, they get something new, and here they get just, how would say, a sandwich, but this is a sandwich with ham on it and cheese on it, and that's a hamburger, okay? Yeah? So if I get a hamburger, I will eat more, I'm appetite. 45 grams is just the day before basketing, and then on basketing day itself, again 35 grams. Then I talk about liberation the day after. If it's 2 nights of basket, I will give the 45 grams on basketing day. Because they are one day in the basket, they don't get the food, and then they digest the food which is in the crop, and then they have the energy to race. So that's that you need to be sure of. So the 45 grams, why do I give it effect 2 days before the race? Because then they can still use it. If you do it only on basketing day, they will not use the energy that you give as much as you wanted on flying day. If you do it the day before, they can put the corn and the seeds and the amino acids, the proteins, the fat, they can put it in energy in their muscles. I do it in that way. So I do it really on grams, and I found myself, even for widower cocks or young birds, I found myself very good at it. Today we visit, people will see it on your website, a very good fancier. We asked him about hens and cocks, and he also said, the hens is another way of feeding than widower's cock. And the top fancier himself said, I feeded them in the same way, and I made a mistake by my hands because I feeded them too heavy and they paired up with each other. So you have to be careful, and in a limited thing, it's very important, I think, to keep them eating. But again, it depends on the weather. If it's cold, if it's warm, where it heart races, no heart races, you have a kind of feeling a little bit about the pigeons. Therefore I say, take your pigeons as much as you can in your hand. Learn to know your pigeons. And you will feel it. Oh, they're already standing round and hard. Oh no, they're still not good. Take your pigeons as much as you can in the hand. It's only take 2 seconds. Yep, take them, yep, and you put them back. But you feel it.
Noticed lately that I don't fit in the mix. It's always something. I noticed lately